Oh, let me see what's going on. Okay, yeah. Peace, love, and light. Happy this thing got on cool. Yes, everybody, how everybody doing? Come on in, come on in. If you got some time and space, come on in. This your brother Mikael, the traveling medicine man, and I'm here. I'm here going live right now for Ancient Future Fridays. Um, I see Lotus just joined. She's gonna be our special guest for today, Lo. So let's get Lo up in here. Yeah, definitely stay hydrated. Some not good alkaline, but a couple minerals in this water. Some alkaline mineral water.
I'm not sure what's happening. Hold on, let me see.
Oh, it's all good.
I hear it, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I hear you, but your visual it's not on right now.
Hold on, let me.
hmm Mine started off with the camera kind of backwards, so maybe that good camera view. But while we getting things started, I want to let everybody know the intentions of this live series. This is something that came to my mind really highly coming back from my travels to Ghana this last fall. I've been out here in the States, out in Oakland, California, for the last couple of months during the wintertime and getting very grounded. But as I've been traveling, I've been seeing a lot of like ancient, very like traditional, um, cultural rituals and ceremonies, but also like healing practices and different things and modalities that maybe like everybody in the world may not be familiar with. So I feel like it's an honor and privilege to travel, to other lands and other places where they're still keeping a lot of traditional cultures. And now that I got the opportunities to see and witness a lot of these different cultures, I'm able to come back to the States, to America, and like be a testimony for a lot of powerful information when it comes to like ancient technologies and healing modalities, but also like future technologies that's also developing too in a lot of these so-called third world countries. So I have a special guest on with me today. It's a beautiful sister, Lo. Um, Also, I know about Lotus. She is on a similar path, been traveling to the continent, to Africa and other African diaspora places for some time now. And so we met crossing paths heading towards Tanzania. She was out there and I was getting ready to head out there. And we both work with plant medicine and also a lot of natural healing. So we had a instant connection. And since that time, we've been supporting each other, highly supporting each other with a lot of information and knowledge, but presenting opportunities and building tribe and community. So she's going to be joining us soon to share her information, her testimony, and give us information about things that she's aware of from her travels, but also um, coming with divine feminine perspective. It's a lot of masculine perspectives out right now, a lot of like patriarchal systems that's been set up on the planet. So we feeling like the divine feminine, the matriarchal energy needs to be heard more right now, and I'm creating platforms to um, get that message out there. Okay, Lois, I see you you here. Let me see if I can invite you in. Let me see. Okay, request to join. Okay, so yeah, Lois should be hopping on very soon.
Okay, finally. Okay, finally.
Okay, yeah. So I'll let folks know a little bit about the intentions of this live series. Speaking about um, travels and also access to different ceremonies and rituals and cultures, and bring it back together for the time and now, so we can
Word.
solutions to the times we're in right now. So we have a very, very powerful guest with us today.
Peace, peace,
Yeah,
peace.
Lotus. Yeah, you can go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Yeah, peace, y'all. I go by Lo, the Pan African Priestess. Yeah, traveling medicine woman and alchemist. Really just, serving for our community, the Pan African Black global community, with a heavy agenda for just Black activation and Black liberation. Um, I've been traveling to the continent for the last 7 years, including living there for a while, primarily in East Africa, Tanzania, and Kenya. But I've also spent time in Ethiopia, Zambia, Morocco, and Ghana. I'll be headed back in a couple months, both to East Africa, but primarily to spend more time in West Africa and continue to build community there. And so a lot of the work I'm doing there is with the medicine, um, facilitating transformative psychedelic experiences for the activation of Black liberation with the medicine, helping people to remember who they are, remember who we are, remember their voices, their cultures, their languages, their names, their gifts, their works. Through these activations, I've seen a lot of powerful shifts and a lot of things happening, especially in Kenya, Nairobi, but also in other spaces. And so it's really refreshing to see folks, especially our generation, the millennial generation, taking back their power and wanting to tap into this medicine and wanting to tap into into this next level of building and evolution for us globally. And that is the agenda. In addition to that, it's just, yeah, it's frolicking, being a Black woman, a Black girl, and having fun, traveling and living life, which in and of itself is its own type of resistance and its own type of activism, not being bound by Western society, Western structures, corporate structures. I've been an entrepreneur for a while with various types of business and works, but full time living my own life on my own time since about April of 2020, and so that's a powerful testimony too. A little bit about myself. I've been working with the medicine, primarily psilocybin. That was my first psychedelic medicine that I began to work with. I've been working with the medicine for about 22 years. I'm 36 years old. So I sat in my first ceremony when I was about 14, almost 15 years old with psilocybin. It was a really powerful activation. It was a full moon. We was in a field next to a cemetery. It was crazy, but beautiful, And so I've had a very long and complex relationship with this medicine throughout the last 22 years, including a lot of recreational use and abuse. I would say recreational use in my younger years, to transitioning to that point where I started to acknowledge it for the ancient technology that it is and started to approach it with a lot more reverence and respect. But it wasn't until the last 7 years, give or take, where I started to really level up, and consider how I was offering it and started to become more aware of access and how much this could be essential to our community specifically. I went to school for a bit for neuroscience, and that really got me into thinking more about our brain structure, neuroplasticity, genetics, epigenetics, and just kind of the damage of trauma, different types of addiction, alcohol, drugs on the brain, and especially our community with our predispositions to a lot of these things, and how the medicine, could help work with that. I've heard a lot of different narratives in the community about using the term medicine when referring to, this medicine, these plants, whether it's ayahuasca or psilocybin or iboga or changa or DMT, bufo. And I use the word medicine, not in a pharmaceutical context or even a scientific context, but I use it when I think of medicine. I think of it from um, the Afrocentric idea of medicine, which is not something that necessarily heals or treats, but it's something that makes whole and that activates within. And that's when I'm using that term. That's what I'm talking about, right? Um, so yeah, currently I have both a practice And I have some practices and some businesses going on. I have Black Lotus Wellness, formerly known as Black Lotus Herbals, which is where we provide medicine to the community through microdose products like teas, capsules, chocolates, and actual fruit, as well as provide like education, host events. We have a meditation series coming up here in Atlanta, different types of microdose events and deep journeys. But through my practice, I also offer consultation and facilitate deeper experiences. So whether it's single session journeys where you're going in with like 5 grams or more, couple sessions, small group ceremonies, or retreats. I've done retreats both that I've hosted or been a part of. I have a very special one called the Sacred Sister Soiree, which is specifically for Black and brown women to come together and practice medicine and do deep magic and activations. Yeah, it was fire. Our last one was in Colombia. Our next one is going to be in Kenya. Well, actually, we'll have one here in Georgia or one in the U.S. before Kenya. But it's a space for, yeah, women to come together and to really tap in and level up and to restore us to our place as, just heavenly, ancient, divine goddess energy, you know what I'm saying? Divine feminine energy, because divine feminine energy carries a lot of magic, it carries a lot of power. And it's never a knock to power. It's the most powerful. Tapping into that energy is tapping into the energy of creatorship. It's tapping into the energy of everything that exists, everything that has been and will be. And so when we align with that and are able to access even a little bit of that, not only is it restorative and healing to us, it's restorative and healing to our children, our men, our community, the Black community as a whole. And so it's essential. One thing I recognize about this work is that it's really revolutionary. Like working with medicine is revolutionary. The brother up there, this brother who got me on the live, he's one of the dopest revolutionaries I know, and one of the first people that I've had, these kind of conversations with. We have a really special story. Actually, I want to share this video to one more person real
Okay.
quick, and then I want us to talk about
Okay, like
our story.
got the people and send it to them and share it like that.
Yeah,
Okay, let me see. Yeah, I need to tap and do some. Oh, see, I see what you're
yeah,
saying. Okay.
yeah. So. And we can share our story too. But, when it comes to people who are just moving really like, hey, sis, that's my sis Ashley who tapped in. When it comes to people who are moving in a very revolutionary way with this medicine and within the Black community and across the continent, this is one of the dopest people I know too. Um, can I talk about our story, how we met? You want to
Yeah,
tell us?
divine.
Okay.
Please do.
Okay. Yeah. So, um, me and Mikhail connected through a WhatsApp group chat that was for repatriates in Tanzania. I had joined the group chat. So, quick backstory on my travels through Tanzania. I won't go too deep, but my first travels to Tanzania were in 2017. I moved there in 2018. I stayed there throughout most of 2018 until I experienced some tragedy. My partner died, and I came back to the States for a bit. And then end of 2020, beginning of 2021, I was like, okay, it's time to get back. And so I went back. During my first 2 years in TZ, um, honestly, between those first 2 years, I met maybe 5 other diasporans, like 5 other people, Black folks who were not Tanzanian, maybe 5 across 2 years. When I came back, beginning of 2021, there were hundreds, and now I'm sure there's thousands between Dar, Arusha, Moshi, and I know we've seen that in other areas throughout the continent too: Ghana, Gambia, um, Zambia, South Africa. But so in TZ, there started to become, when I came back, there was these group chats, there was these different things going on. It was all new. And so people were connecting. It was really beautiful, right? And so I'd be in the group chat, kind of just following, seeing what's up, making contributions. And I also realized there's a very different energy to the people who are coming now. A lot of them were based in the major city, which is Dar es Salaam. And a lot of them were very much like among themselves, not really connected to the Tanzania community. And a lot of people it was like giving lost. It was a lot of lost energy. People weren't really integrating well, just a few. And so, it was like, I was definitely like trying to support. And so when I saw people who had aligned interests or whatever, I would seek to connect. Anyway, long story short, saw this brother. There was this message. I woke up one day, there was a message in there. This brother named Mikhail Magic Ali introducing himself as a medicine man from the Bay. I work with this and this. I've been on the path of, alkaline eating and veganism, plant-based eating for 10 years. And I was just like, he had a whole bio and it was lit. I was like, what? Like, who is this? I absolutely have to meet him. And I reached out, I sent a message and was like, hey, I'm a medicine woman. I work with medicine too. Like, what's up? And that was like maybe October 2021. And when I say we've been locked in ever since, from continent to continent, wherever we are in the world, always just supporting each other, keeping in contact with each other, checking up on each other, sharing resources, and really building, transcontinental, globally, really building. And it has been so much fruit and so much that have come from our connection. And so, very honored to always share space, honored to share this live with you, and just, yeah, honored to know you. Yeah, so I know I've been talking a lot, so I want to pause and just give space for feedback or questions.
Yes, yes. I mean, wow, just your whole story is amazing. There's some things I knew, some things I didn't know. I did not know you was tapping in that early at 14 and really working with that medicine. So a few people I'm hearing about have some early experiences, and I potentially could have had an early experience growing up, but I didn't really feel called at that moment. It was around, but I felt like it wasn't. I wasn't prepared for it. Wasn't really aware of. But I feel like yeah, like we all got called down this path different ways. You know what I'm saying? I got called down this path basically through doing some personal healing through my physical health. You know what I'm saying? And when I made a shift, I seen these different options of different ways and modalities to heal myself was available. And plant medicine was one that popped up. But definitely, like you said, I feel like it's all forms of modality of plant medicine because all plants has the potential to be medicine, especially food. So, that was my first medicine. Food is medicine. And then I started working with herbs and stones and crystals and different like monotonic elements. And then that's when like psilocybin in particular came into my life. And then, other modalities of, like you said, ayahuasca, these different plant medicines, what I'm saying, but psychoactive and also medicinal plant medicines too.
Mm.
So I want to go into just a question because you have brought it up a little bit, but can you speak more about the death effect? Because yeah, I want to know more about it, and I feel like it's something that is needed around this time.
Yeah. Um, so the Death Collective, for those who are following, based in Atlanta, um, the Death Collective is a space that I've been offering. Me and a sister of mine, Zakia, she's really dope. Zakia is a dream worker, grief worker, and just really tapped in with ancestral medicine or ancestral methods of
Mm,
healing. But the Death Collective is a space where people can come, put death in the middle of the room, and look her in the eye, look it in the eye and really embrace it. It's inspired by experiencing death in different spaces. So again, this goes back to me. Almost everything I do is also a response to my own healing journey and just my own personal experience. Anything that I offer, anything that I, venture into is directly related to my own calling and purpose. There's nothing out here that I'm just doing. And that really is, a difference because especially in a space like Atlanta, where the spiritual community can be very convoluted, people love to just do stuff because they see other people doing stuff or it seems like a space that they want to get into. But
mm,
I'm currently in Atlanta. Yes, sis.
mm.
Um, yeah, I believe this is Tellis's wife, right?
I believe
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Peace, sis. Yeah. I'm currently, yeah, see Nighthawk. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not, yeah.
Uh,
So I'm based in Atlanta, sis. Peace. So death. So my first experience with death was when I was 5 years old. I saw my grandma get murdered in front of me. She got shot, and I was there with her. She took her last breath. That was my initiation into death. That is what popped the cherry. That's what opened me up to the idea of someone transitioning. And even then, at 5 years old, it was really hard to kind of conceive. I thought we just needed to put like a band-aid on her head and I thought everything was going to be cool. I remember telling my mom, we just need to put a band-aid
mm,
there. Um, but that was the opening. From then, I think I've counted at different times in life. I'm sure it's been at least about like 16 family members, that I've lost over the course of my life that I actually knew and was close with, not distant cousins, but uncles, uncles on this side, uncles, aunts, young cousins, young folks, a young cousin from drowning, a young cousin from breast cancer, an uncle from this. But there have been, probably three that have been really intimate for me. One was my grandmother, the first one. The second one was my uncle, who, I was literally with him throughout the last year of his life, a part of his hospice team. I'm the one, after receiving a lot of divine knowledge around, vegetarian and veganism. I was vegetarian at that time and natural healing. I was the one who convinced him not to do chemo, which was something I had to reconcile later with the rest of the family wanting him to do chemo. And I convinced him not to put that into his body and to approach it naturally, which definitely gave him a better quality of life, but he still died. He still died, and I was convinced that I could heal him. And so that was a really different type of reconciliation. I was also practicing Christianity at that time. So it was a lot in that, but it took me on a whole deeper path of different types of healing with natural medicines, cancer, and different types of things. I think had he not been as advanced when we found out he was already stage 3, almost 4, we definitely could have healed him. But it was a very intimate type of death. He was like a father to me. He gave me a lot of knowledge to this day, and my spiritual team, one of my biggest supporters. And then the one that was probably most recent, I also have my auntie Ruthie, who is part of my soul team. And so always there with me, like always right here. But one of the ones that was most recent, and that really pushed me into this path that I'm in today, what you guys experienced, the medicine work, everything, was my partner, Paolo. He was Tanzanian. We met in Tanzania. We built a life there together. We lived together. We did work together there, community work. He was a really powerful figure in his community there. And it was his death that opened up everything as far as this path. That was also the first time experiencing death and being a part of those rituals and customs in Africa, on the continent, in Tanzania, which gave me pieces. Oh my gosh. That's a very divine sister tapping in right now too,
Okay.
from TZ, from
Oh,
Tanzania. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's my sister Nakema.
that's what's
Um,
up.
but, Paul's death was really the one that, introduced me to African death customs and rituals and just a different approach to death. Initially, I'll be honest, it was very traumatizing, very triggering. I never experienced death like that.
Uh,
But now I realize it was the most natural, the way that they don't let some strangers take the body of their person who's transitioned. They clean the body themselves. They don't pump the body full of chemicals. They use herbs and things to maintain it for the actual ceremony. They bring the body in a clear glass casket type thing, box thing, into the house up there in the mountains, and we're all in the
mm,
house, paying respect. They have a lamenting practice, where you're sitting there like me, the mother, the grandmother, all the women. Other women come in and wail and scream, and you wail and you scream and you let that energy move. And then 5 minutes later, you're sitting there laughing to the next group of women come in and wail and scream. And I mean, as a person who was new to it, was very, very intense. And there was other aspects of just the whole leading up to the ceremony and after that I was not prepared for. Even the consolation, people's consolation was, oh, it's okay. You're young. You'll find another person. Because for them, death is so natural. They feel so close to it all the time. They don't separate themselves from death in the spiritual world. And as I continue to move throughout different places in Africa, different tribes, different cultures, I realized that this is something that's woven in through indigenous cultures, period, from South America to Asia. And it has also helped to nourish and activate the way I approach death and transitions. And so fast forward into now holding this space called the Death Collective, it is built on a lot of those principles of bringing death closer, not letting there be a disconnect, even for those of us that feel in close proximity. One of the main groups of people that I seek to hold space for with the Death Collective is those who are contemplating unaliving themselves, those who are really feeling the call of death,
mm,
those who have tried or are wanting to maybe, commit suicide. I hate that phrase, but, who are feeling that call to transition. Because one thing I don't believe in is romanticizing this life or demonizing death. For those of us who have been working with medicine, especially who have traveled, we know that there's so much more to the universe, so much more to other universes, so much more to this world and its existence than this what we see, than this dimension, especially in the Western world. And so when people are dealing with the level of trauma and pain and anguish and fucked up structure and racism and oppression and all the things that they deal with on a daily while trying to, absolutely, we can come back to that. And you can also DM me, and I'd love to just talk to you personally, depending on how our time is, but I will come back into that. But when people are dealing with a lot of the things that, let's first talk about what the way we live in the Western world is not normal. That's not normal. We've normalized it, but that is not at all. It is not at all in alignment with how we're naturally designed to exist. It's not freeing. It's not organic. It doesn't feel organic to our bodies, to our mental, all of these things, Some of us are just better at assimilating than others. Some of us are born with thicker skin. And then while there are some of us that are better at assimilating and that have conditioned ourselves to be able to navigate this world and this life, especially in the Western world, that we've conditioned ourselves, we've done what we've had to do. There's some people that are a lot more fragile, a lot more closer to the spirit realm. They come with different agendas and different assignments, and with their designations and their design, this is too much. And I felt that calling. I felt the energy in the body of a person who wasn't supposed to be here, enough to know that what they were feeling in their mind with wanting to take themselves out was actually really accurate. I've had spirit let me know that this person is not supposed to be here. This world is not for them. But again, when you're in a space that tells you it's a sin or it's bad, or there's so much gilded energy built upon, there's so much energy geared towards, again, romanticizing this life or making it seem like this is the cream of the crop and like this is the designation for everyone. It's really hard. Like anything outside of that seems alternative, or there's something wrong with you. I truly believe that there's a lot of folks that are living and existing in a very transitory space, mentally and spiritually, energetically, a transitory space that is kind of, in between this world and other spaces. They're hearing messages, and their radio, their signal, their frequency is tuned to things that are not here. And they're dealing with this 24/7 while also trying to be a part of what we're experiencing here, trying to communicate. There's someone that can be looking you in the eye, talking to you. I'm around it down, talking to you. We're talking to each other here, but really their consciousness is in a whole different place. And so you doing that too long, guess what? You're going to start to splinter. You're going to start to shatter. And pretty soon that pool of the other space is going to be a little bit stronger. And there's a lot more things that we can talk about that. And I'm going to round it up because I feel like you want to say something, right?
No, I'm just wondering, I'll be feeling like that.
Word. But yeah, so I believe that, I seek to offer a space where people can come and say, I feel like dying. Today, I almost didn't make it, and look you in the eye and look people in the eye and be okay with that. Our first death collective, we had people saying, raging. I had people, we were screaming, we were raging, we were speaking out things that we couldn't speak to anyone else. We let death be death. We let it be here, and we let it intertwine with this life. And that was able to take the weight off of people who are carrying it by themselves every day. Death is heavy. It can be heavy when you don't acknowledge it as a natural part of this existence. It can be heavy when it has been given so much darkness and negative connotation. If we looked at death the same way we look at different ideas associated with death, like ancestorhood or heaven or next realm, if we actually embraced even the act of transitioning like that as well, it softens the experience and makes it a lot easier for us to digest pieces and integrate. Imagine a world where someone who's been struggling for 15, 20 years, who has tried everything, maybe even plant medicine, ayahuasca, all these things, and has been struggling with bipolarism, dissociative disorder, depression, addiction, whatever it is, decides that their time here is done. They decide with their own power and sovereignty, not when they've exhausted all resources and are strung out on the street somewhere, laid up in a hospital that hurt other people, and then been forced to live and navigate this without something to help them. When they decide, imagine a world where when they've decided with their own power that they're done with this life, that instead of being marginalized, being, told that they're crazy, being pushed to the side and side-eyed, imagine they're embraced. Imagine someone, we sit with them, we commune around them, we create a date, we hold a ceremony where everyone gets to be around them and embrace them and help them usher themselves into the next realm. They get to pick the song, they get to decide what they're wearing, we get to, burn incense, we get to sing songs, hold hands, and they get to be ushered with love and with nourishment into the next realm. And not even with those who are on the brink of suicide, even those with terminal illnesses, elders who are almost on the way out. We got elders, sitting in hospitals, hospice care, and facilities, that are 80s, 70s, 90s, who lived a very full life and had a lot of life, and they're just drawing this out. A lot of them are ready to go. A lot of the elders are ready to go. You talk to them out their own mouth, they're ready to go. They're holding on because of other people around them. They're holding on because we live in a world and a society where it's not supported for them to be able to have sovereignty and power over their own time and their own designation, and that doesn't support them. But imagine it is a rite of passage into the other side. You feel me? Just like any other rite of passage. So imagine a world where instead of, oh, we had to pull the plug today or they died today, imagine where they chose a day. Them and their family chose a day where people got to come around them in a very intentional and powerful space to usher them into the next round. And so Death Collective is like the preset to that. Some of the activities that we do and that we're going to be doing, like today, is write letters to our loved ones, expressing things that maybe we don't get to express, not out of the heat of the moment of, when we're about to pull the trigger or make the cut or take the dive, but right now in a space of love and consciousness, write letters to loved ones, build altars for ourselves or others that are close to us. I also, there's a lot of people who are grieving and dealing with grief that have never had a space to consciously process it. Maybe they're in Christian, maybe they're, involved in different religions and practices that have forced them to be very disconnected from that. You can't build no altar for another human. Jesus is the only one you could build an altar for, and no disrespect to anybody's religious practice or beliefs. But there's a lot of people coming from spaces like that haven't been able to process grief. There's a lot of people who've been in spaces where their grief has been co-opted, where, yeah, they just haven't had the space to process. Death Collective is for them too. So it's a really powerful space, and this is just the beginning. There's a bigger branch called the Pan-African Death Initiative that I'm working on, and so the Death Collective is the first physical manifestation of the Pan-African Death Initiative, which is a global community of people doing this type of work and of developing, rites of passage, and especially Afro-centered death practices and rites of passage. And so, yeah, I know that was a lot. I'm going to pause right there. There was a sister that spoke and asked, could we speak more about unaliving? And I love that if you have a more specific question about unaliving, or I'm not sure if you could tell me a little bit more about what you might like to get some reflection on or guidance on around dealing with your friend who maybe, I don't know if your friend just unalived themselves or just transitioned or is contemplating it, and you want to know how to communicate. If it's something that I can speak about now, I would love to. If not, like I said, you can definitely shoot me a DM. Yeah. Peace, brother. How you feeling? What you
I'm
thinking?
feeling, you know what, you just opened up a deep portal that, I wasn't even like thinking about, but it opened up like an ancient like memory to me. Like, and I study a lot of ancient Kemet, a lot of ancient Afro, like you said, centered history and sciences, and a lot of science was around the afterlife and was around reincarnation and was around preserving the human body after the death in order to communicate with the loved ones and yeah, you know, and keeping that stargate and that portal open. And a lot of our ancestors in ancient time, it may not seem like it, but their whole life on this planet was really focusing on their afterlife.
Ashe. Absolutely.
They were deifying their heart, making their heart light. They were doing their spiritual practices. They were down here in a physical form, enjoying the physical life. But like you were saying, they all knew it was something like bigger and greater and grander that they came from. And they
Period.
honored that.
Yes.
When they chose to, most in ancient times, they didn't die no type of sickly death that a lot of us may experience in a lifetime. They ascended, like she said, they chose when they wanted to leave out of here, and they chose because they did their purpose on this planet, and they left their mark and they left their history, and they was ready to go on back to the ancestors or to a higher place or just to a different existence or reality. So I feel like that science and that history is what what it's all about right now. You feel me?
Ashe.
Getting back to self because I'm a Scorpio. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of deep passion and a lot of deep just insight and wisdom, and just throughout my life, I always knew like this lifetime I came into this life by myself. I'm a leader. So not in the sense that I don't have nobody around me, but each experience is for oneself to know self, but also to experience with reflections of ourselves. Everybody in this realm is all reflection of each other. We all
Ashe.
came into this realm to experience, the one connection to the Creator and the Most High, but also to be an individual vessel and reflection of that. You feel me? So, I'm sending love and light to anybody who concerned about death still in this realm right now. And that's one thing that also the mycelium, the fungi technology, has been able to help me and a lot of others that is because it's a portal for you to access the afterlife and death all at one time. And
Absolutely.
so a lot of times you take higher doses of psilocybin mushroom, it will force you to have a death experience. And that death experience, you will leave your body. Some people might astral travel, see their body, see their family, see the whole existence that they experience. And then they'll go on to another realm and experience something different, and they'll be able to come back with so much humbleness, so much. It happened to me so many times. When I take high doses of mushrooms,
Yeah.
I have that experience. I leave this realm, and
Yes.
my heart get light, and I'm able to like experience so much love and bliss, and it come to a point where I'm like, okay, I have to come back down to this realm in order to still do my work and still be a part of the collective. But at the end of the day, I feel like death is something that nobody should be afraid of, because it holds a lot of us back from having experiences in life. It holds us back from being able to like accept and appreciate life. And life is beautiful, it's precious, you know what I'm saying? So for ones who are not appreciating life right now, consider what the sister just said. She just said a lot, but death is something to not be afraid of, but to bring close to you. And while you living here, experience life to the fullest and let death be a celebration of your life when you transition. So I just want to put that in there. You feel me? Right quick.
Yeah. Good things. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely vibing with that. Yeah. That is so with the Death Collective and Death work, that was kind of the vision that inspired me. I was honored to kind of hold space for someone who was transitioning and be able to offer them medicine. And that is kind of like, that was a part of the inspiration, and kind of envisioning that be a space that people could go out and developing, a specific brew. My gift and my where I have the most fun with this work that I do is in my lab. I'm always developing these different brews and blends, combining different medicines, from different parts of the earth. I work with a lot of South African, like dream herbs, bulau herbs, South American herbs, of course, psilocybin, and I love making these brews and blends. And I have a deep desire to create a really powerful blend that could facilitate, a transition through a psychedelic experience. And so I haven't spoken it out loud much, but, it's something that I have a deep desire to do, and to be able to let that be a service, to the community and to folks who are nearing transition and let that be the experience of transition. But you're absolutely right. For those of us who have done those higher doses, we've experienced death already, multiple times. And not even just death, too. We speak death with so much finality, but the other realms, the other dimensions, and that's the beauty of the medicine. We've traveled to other dimensions and know that there's so much more out there beyond what we can see and beyond what's here. Two things I want to say. Shout out to the brother Fofo. He just tapped in. That's a powerful brother in Ghana, like a powerful brother in Ghana, that I am connected with and that I'm going to be connecting and doing some dope work with. I can't wait to touch back down. We got some medicine on the way to him right now and working on, that connection. And so I can't wait for him to receive the medicine and just can't wait. So me and Fofo got to hop on the live too. Actually, we need,
Yeah, I mean, if you want, he can hop on right here too, because this is going to be like one of the last segments.
Yo, bro, tap in real quick. Fofo, can you tap in real quick?
I
Are you
want
at
to
work?
talk
What
about
time
like
is it?
access to like plant medicine on the continent, like works that can be done with like
Yo,
plant medicine on the continent to folks. So
yeah,
yeah,
it's
I'm
like 6 p.m. Are you busy? Can you tap in? Can you request just for a little bit to tap in? Just like 2 minutes,
yeah,
please.
cause
For
we
Lolo.
want to talk about
Hey,
this,
yes. Okay,
talk about
bet.
this. Tech.
He said 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna request it 1 second. I saw that, Deja. So a couple, and that's what I was going to come to. So Fofo's going to come in. A couple things I wanted to bring up. I also so there's like three things, and I'm going to get to Deja. First of all, I just wanted to hold this up. When you brought up Komet, one thing that I've been inspired to dig a little deeper into is the 12 gates of death, which is, a Kemetic foundation and Kemetic knowledge about the different realms that we go through. It's a spiritual passage through the Egyptian books of the dead. So if anyone is interested deeper, and wants to know deeper, maybe you can get this book. It's something that I'm currently studying myself. And then I also want to shout out a major figure as we're talking about both transitions and death and ancestorhood, also powerful medicine workers, and just even me, my personal life and my work on the continent. I have to shout out Tellis. I have to shout out Tellis. I was in Indonesia, I was in Bali when I received the news. Mudu called me that Tellis had transitioned, and it shook me. Yo, fo. But I just have to shout out the brother Tellis. Tellis was one of the few people that was really passionate and ecstatic about the work that I was doing on the continent. He actually gave me and gifted me medicine too. Some of the medicine that I took to the continent, the Hape, the tours that I took during those initial travels, reconnecting with NTZ in Kenya, was from Tellis. Chief Nighthawk to y'all, facts. And I remember sitting with Tellis with Mama Aya, and it was one of the most powerful journeys in my life. So definitely, just a major figure. It really shook me, when he transitioned. And even coming back, I was in some different places and have been desiring to connect with his goddess and reconnect with community. And so I can't wait. I will be tapping in with the sis really soon, trust that. As for Deja, I'm gonna finish this out, and speak a word to Deja, and then I want to tap in with the bro here. Yes, rest in power for
Yeah,
sure. Fo. But Deja, I will say just a few things, but I'd love for you to hop in the DM and talk to me personally about your friend. So I would say this: if they tried to unalive themselves yesterday, it's a very good chance they're still feeling, and they were not successful. It's a very good chance that they're still feeling in very close proximity to death. So first of all, I would just, if you have the opportunity to talk to them personally, I'm not sure what type of relationship you have, what are the circumstances. Those are things we would need to talk about personally, but just see what they need. See what they need. Speak with them and see what they need. Again, some things that would be helpful to know is how they try to unalive themselves and other circumstances around it to kind of get a better idea or to know the nature of your relationship with them. Peace. We got Darren on the line. Oh, it's lit. It's big lit.
right.
But see what they need. Um, do your best to be really open, whether they physically did something to themselves or whatever they did, obviously just approach them with really tender care and respect. Speak to them clearly. You don't have to like coddle or use a baby voice, like speak to them clearly and direct, approach them, like look them in their eye, ask what they need, give them love. Those are some things that, yeah, you could do, at least now. And so again, I'd love to speak with you personally. So if you shoot me a message in the DM, we definitely might have time to connect today and just have a little chat about some tools that may help you or how to approach unaliving. Yo, yeah, give thanks. Thank you for asking, and just sending love, to them, their family, and their friends, for sure. So,
Yes.
well,
Give thanks, brother.
oh,
Brother.
what guan?
Yo, peace, low, peace, peace, peace.
Yes, we appreciate you joining, brother. And yeah, I got intentions on meeting you out when I go to Ghana again soon. I was out there on a tour last time, so I didn't get a chance to catch up with you, brother. But I've been hearing about all the great work you're doing. Lo been telling me about everything that you know what I'm saying, you got going out there. So can you introduce yourself to the people and let people know what you got going on the continent?
Peace, peace, salam. My name is Fofo Kojo Gabwa or Togbe Gabwa. I'm an artist, filmmaker, and a seeker of knowledge of self. You know what I'm saying. And yeah, we're out here in Ghana.
Yes,
Doing the work out here in Ghana.
Tell us about,
You know.
hey, tell us about your first, tell us about your introduction to psychedelics in the Black community, who that person was, and how that connection happened.
My connection to psychedelics with the Black community was Baba Kalindi E. Um, yeah. It was this obscure night, and then I was on YouTube, and you know, I saw this lecture where Baba Kalindi E was just like breaking it down, and Bobby Hemmett was in that lecture. So
I know.
Bobby Hemmett was
Great.
actually a student.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, Bobby Hemmett was actually a student in that lecture. So I was like, okay, if Bobby Hemmett's listening to this, man, let me pay attention. And then oh, my sheikh is actually in the live. My sheikh, he's called Nana Sufi.
Wow.
Bob for
Mashallah. Hey.
007. Shout outs to him. Shout outs to him.
Word.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, Baba Kalindi E kind of like expanded my consciousness with regards to like psychedelics and how the entheogens are actually a major part of the knowledge system that we indigenous people have. And entheogens is a fundamental aspect through which we use to connect with the ancestral realm and use to raise our consciousness in order to attain, knowledge, full enlightenment, or, knowledge itself, So it was really amazing to find a brother, because prior to Baba Kalindi E, like when it came to psychedelics and whatnot, it was usually, Europeans and Caucasians and, hippie white people. So it was really amazing to come across a brother just like going in and making me realize that like these entheogens came into my reality because, it's part of my heritage. It's not like some random thing. So yeah, I'm really grateful to have come across Baba Kalindi E and his teachings.
That's what's up, brother.
Yeah.
Hey. Yo.
And Malo,
Word.
about everything that you was aware of, it was very inspiring to me because I don't really know as many people on the continent, in Ghana and Africa who like are aware of these things and on that wave. And so can you give people a little information and for my awareness too about what is it like with like psychedelics or like mushrooms in Africa and Ghana, and also like is people aware of that? Is it something that is like a consciousness that people are like aware of out there?
Well, I moved back to Ghana in 2016, right? And when I came back, psychedelics were like rather rare, but I don't know, there was this weird renaissance, or if that's what I should call it, where all of a sudden all these young kids started doing LSD. So there's this like little counterculture of kids who are into LSD and now mushrooms as well. So Spirit has kind of like brought the medicine out here, brought the medicine back out here, but it's still new, and it's just still a few people who are into it, but it's definitely out here. It's definitely out here.
Okay. Just so you're aware, brother, I'm on the same path as Lo. I travel to different African diasporas with medicine with me. I hold space. I offer services with, like retreats and everything like that too. So I love to build with you and, just connect on some different opportunities and potential. And I appreciate you for being a leader within that space. You feel me? I know that you're going to make a huge impact, you feel me, in Ghana and to the whole world, but definitely on the continent, because that's been a lost hidden art on the continent. Like you said, like it's something that's a part of every ancient culture, and it's more of a natural wave of just the way that it's been done. But now there's more like westernized and more like for medicinal practices, like hospitals and like more of a
Yeah.
industry,
Pharmaceutical.
pharmaceutical
Yeah.
industry. People are not looking at it in a sacred, spiritual way. So we appreciate you for holding your space, and we're gonna continue to connect and build, brother, for sure.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say I give thanks for your energy. Fofo and I have been, in deep communication and connection for quite some time now, since the end of last year. Yeah, about the end of last year or fall of last year. And we connected a while before that. I actually found him on Instagram through some shared connections, and I was like, "Whoa, what is this power? Like this energy?" Just through your work, it was actually your art, that connected me. If you guys go check out his page, you'll see examples of his photography. He has links where you can see some of the films and the shorts he's produced, videos he's produced. If you're looking for any kind of like production work that holds weight and that is of quality, holler at my boy, whether it's a documentary, a music video, or whatever. Even Mikhail, as you're doing this work and you get into this like traveling more, especially through the continent, and you're considering documenting it, because I asked Fofo about that, like that would be something really dope to be able to have and to like kind of preserve the work you're doing, but also put out there. But this is the brother to talk to. And so it was your art that actually attracted me, and I just saw the depth and I saw the power behind it. And then your music taste. I was like, remember I reached out to you and I was like, yo, can you send me a playlist? I didn't know this man or anything because he was just posting and the music was hitting. I'm like, dang, who is this? Who is this? So really, really dope, brother. Tapped in and knows a lot more than what we're talking about now. We just gonna go there. I know, you ain't trying to be in the spotlight. That's not your thing, but this brother knows a lot. You talk about ancient. This is ancient.
I know
Wherever
nothing.
direction you want to
I
go,
know nothing. I know
you can go to
nothing.
Sufism, 5%. You can go to Moorish science. You can go to Kemetic science. Any which direction you want to go. This is a teacher. I be learning. He be learning me things. And so
I
I'm
know
so
nothing. I know nothing. I'm a student. I'm a humble student.
humble student to another humble student. Big Ashe, and I give thanks. For your brother, sister, goddesshood, and the connection. And I'm very excited to touch back down on the land and the spaces that we're going to hold and the things that we're going to do. So, yeah, shout out, shout out.
Peace, peace, peace.
Thanks. Peace.
Yeah. All right. Well, what's next? You got more questions? How you feeling? We're at
Um,
2:04.
brother Mikhail. Is that how I pronounce your name? Mikhail or Michael?
My birth name
Mikhail.
is Michael, but I go by Mikhail. But a lot of people do know me by Mikhail for short. You feel me? Whatever works for you.
Mikhail. What's interesting is the group which you came with, the facilitator, he's called Yao Asari.
Yes, yes, that's my brother.
Yeah, that's my brother. We
My brother
traveled to
too.
Senegal. Yeah, we traveled to Senegal together for knowledge of self. That's where I got
Wow.
initiated into Sufism.
Oh,
So we both, yeah, we went on that journey together. That's my
dang.
brother.
You know what? I'm gonna
Wow.
pull out. I'm gonna pull out two books right quick. I'm gonna do something right quick because
Oh,
Spirit told me to
that's
do.
dope. Okay. That's fine. Okay.
No.
What up? Yo, foe. Yeah, we in this thing. How you feeling?
I feel
Ramadan Mubarak.
good.
Yeah.
I feel good. I feel good.
You
I'm in a good
fasting?
place. Um,
Word. Word.
I'm fasting. I'm fasting.
In spirit, right? In spirit. Word.
Okay, now I don't know why I can't find the book right now, but it's a book. Many people been telling to read it. And this another book that I got from this brother. He's a Sufi brother.
Oh my God! You have
Madal.
this book?
I got the book, brother. That's what, that's what
I've
Spirit told me
been
to put it
looking
out.
for this book.
Come on, bro. I met Madal when I was out there. My good brother introduced me to him. He's the Sufi master. You feel me? So yeah, I'm connected, family.
Wow.
Dr. Car-
Yeah.
oh, see my
Uh
ring?
huh.
That's the Huyevet. That's the symbol of Huyevet.
Wow. Okay,
Let me
family.
see again.
This is an amazing book. This brother is a master teacher. I met him when I was out in Ghana. His name is Madal, but he's the leader of all the Sufi tribes on the continent. You feel me? And he's been doing a lot
Dr.
of work and research.
Kumoji.
Yes, yes, he's been doing a lot of work for many years. And this book is like a combination of all his different works, from language to symbolism to ancient science and wisdom. It's just a lot of great information that he put all in one book. And he said he's going to be ready to tour around the world and share this information. He said it's the only
That's
information.
great. This is an amazing synchronicity because like I was watching his video just this morning.
Wow, see? See?
I was thinking I need to connect with him.
Right. I got a brother I can connect you with him. He's out in close to Accra, but he introduced me personally. He can connect you to him if you're trying to get connected. It's good.
It's fire.
Wow, this is all divine, yo. This is
That's
all
dope.
divine.
Good thing.
Wow.
Brother,
That's beautiful.
for me, ancient
That's beautiful.
Fridays. You feel me? The brother told me to do it on Fridays. He said Fridays and it's a day of teaching and in the culture out in Ghana. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We picking up on the ancestor energy right now is good.
Yeah. And in Islam too. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. But there was another book I wanted to talk about. This brother, he's well renowned too. I think he transitioned maybe like a couple years ago, but it was a book speaking about the Dogra tribe. Y'all familiar with this brother? He was an African teacher out of Ghana too, but his book been coming up this majorly speaking about doing like a lot of magic and rituals. And yeah, I just wanted to share that with y'all. But as far as right now, I don't got any other questions. We just vibing right now. It's a good energy. Yeah, I appreciate y'all both coming on here and just giving people a lot of information about some things that we may not be aware of. This was a whole intention doing live. So, brother, I'd like to have you come on again soon too. You feel me? Just to come more intentional with the information and anything that you want to share with the people. You know, want to get more people connected from the continent, from the diaspora to the Western diaspora too, because there's so much that we need to cross pollinate and share right now, from culture to information, health, wellness, and just build our resources up. So whatever way we stay connected, we definitely want to do that. You feel me?
Word.
Definitely.
Bro, Mikhail, were you talking about Patrice Sommet? Malodoma Patrice
I
Sommet?
was, yeah. Malodoma.
Oh, this book right here.
Of
The same
water
one
and
I got
Where
spirit.
down
water?
here.
Of
Exactly.
water
Here
and
we go.
spirit.
Here we go. Yup.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you're talking about, hold on, you're talking about this book right here.
Yeah, I
Hold on.
find it, but I'm reading through it slowly, but I got to read through the whole thing because there's a lot of magic in that book. You feel me?
Yo, that book is a life-changing book, yo. Like
Exactly.
I read it last year.
Are
Yeah,
you talking about this
I
one?
got it last year. That's the one. The healing. Yup. The
Yeah,
healing wisdom. Apple.
word,
That's the one.
yeah.
Yeah. This
And
one to
then I'm
share that with the
also
people.
reading, this one is by another powerful one.
Mm,
Um, this one is by his wife, or his former wife,
okay.
Sobonfu, and it's this one.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm. Name
yeah.
on it.
It is The Spirit of Intimacy.
Okay. There you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a lot of science information put into a lot of these different books, y'all. You feel me? So
Word.
maybe we can do that too as we do this series. Ask folks to bring in any kind of suggested book material that they can share, so we can get our information back like that too.
Okay.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
give thanks.
But let's see. Yeah, we getting close to time. We supposed to be going to 11:11, but we can go a little over. But yeah, this has been a beautiful build. We appreciate everybody coming in.
Absolutely. I'm so grateful. This is perfect. I give thanks to both of y'all. This is just the best energy, especially to carry into tonight's session. So
Yes, yes. So yeah, happy spring equinox, everybody. I hope everybody feeling charged up and ready. We out here in the West, so we
I
just heating
feel
back.
amazing.
Yeah.
I feel amazing.
Okay.
I feel amazing.
It's good.
Yeah,
Brother,
I'm very happy right now.
word.
For like no reason.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I'm happy.
Yo, no, it's lit. This energy is powerful.
So yeah, we give thanks to everybody. Yeah, y'all can catch us again next week. We're gonna have another guest on, but we can just keep building, keep vibing. I'm gonna post this and reshare this on my page. So yeah, please catch us for the next time. All right.
Yeah.
All right. All
right.
right.
Peace, y'all. Give thanks.
Yo, give thanks. Peace, salam.
Peace.
That's good.
Peace, salam. Yeah, when you share it, make sure you tag me. I think so. I'm about to DM you now. Make sure you tag me, and then I think
So
tag me and tag Fofo.
Info for collaborators. Yes.
And then we can share. We can reshare it.
Got you. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. So enjoy.
Peace, y'all.